Through this video, I'm using pen for demonstration purposes only. This is to ensure that you can see all lines in which I'm creating when marking out. Pen is not used when marking wood, as it stains the wood as the ink from the pen get absorbed from the fibre of the wood. I'm only using the pen for demonstration purposes only so that you can see it, and pencil is always used when marking out. The mortise gauge consists of 5 main parts: the stem, the stock, the adjustable thumb screw, the adjustable screw, and also the spurs. On the stock there are 2 brass strips. These brass strips prevent the stock from wearing and allow the stock to run smoothly against the piece. The spurs can be adjusted by the adjustable thumb screw at the bottom of the stem. This can be set to any distance in which you are using. These 2 spurs are parallel to the stock. The stock is also perpendicular to the stem to provide 2 accurate parallel lines to the surface in which you are creating. So what does parallel mean? Parallel means 2 lines or surfaces that will never meet. For example, the 2 railway lines on a railway track. Setting the distance is the most important aspect of using this tool. It is important to keep your elbows inside your sides to ensure that you have good control and balance over both tools. If you have your elbows out, you could lose control and find it harder to mark your distances. This allows for precision and accuracy when marking out. Why do we measure to the tip of the spur? We measure to the tip of the spur for precision and accuracy when marking out. As the spur gets further into the stem, it increases in its diameter, which can cause inaccurate marking. As shown in the video, I am setting a distance of 7 mm between the 2 spurs and also 7 mm between the stock and the final spur. As you can see, I'm measuring to the tip of the spurs and not to the bottom of the spurs. When doing this, it's important to keep your elbows tucked by your sides for precise and accurate marking out. When it comes to using the mortise gauge, ensure that you're using the stock of face side or face edge. At the beginning, we set the dots to pierce the fibres of the wood to ensure that you don't continue down the piece. As shown, you can see the way that I'm running the stock down the piece of material, pushing the fibres of the wood, compressing them into the surface. This prevents you from lifting the fibres. As shown in the video now, you can see that after setting the distances of 7 and 7 on our mortise gauge, you can see that they're an accurate and precise marking after using the stock of face edge. This is because we used the tip of the spurs while measuring and not the bottom of the spurs. If we begin to measure the distance from the stock to the bottom of the spur and also set the distances between the 2 spurs from the bottom of the spurs, it begins to create a larger marking. This is due to the size of the cone-shaped spurs as they get further down into the stem. As you can see, I'm marking from the bottom of the spur, where the ruler is flush with the stem. I'm trying to create the same marking distance as previously done with the 7 and 7 between the two spurs and also the stock and the spur. As you can see, I've measured from 7 and 7. Once again, using the stock off face side and face edge, we create the same two dots and run the mortise gauge down the piece. Remember, this is the distances set when we set the measurement from the bottom of the spur. As you can see, the two distances are different from our regular marking out of 7 and 7. Here I'm measuring the new distances found when using the bottom of the spurs. After looking at the markings, we can clearly see that when we set the distances to the bottom of the spur, we created a new distance of 7.5 and also a larger distance of 15 instead of our distance of 7 and 14. This is why we measure to the tip of the spur and not measure from the bottom of the spur. This is an important principle as you develop on using this tool. Why do we always double check our measurements? Double checking our measurements using this tool is very important. As you can see in the video, I'm setting a distance between the two spurs of 10 millimeters. This is measured from the tip of the spurs and not to the bottom of the spurs. It is when it comes to setting the distance from the stock to the adjustable spur when the error may occur. As you can see, I want to set a distance of 30 millimeters from the stock to the adjustable spur. When we go to tighten the adjustable nut, we can see that when we moved it, we also moved the distance from the top of the spur to the stock. This is why we always double check our measurements, as is due for the precision and accuracy while marking out. This can affect the overall finish of your project.